Hey friends, welcome back to the channel with more My Hero Academia. This is Season 2, Episode 25, the season finale. Last time we saw Deku and Bakugo pass their final against All Might. That was spectacularly done. Really fun episode. But yeah, looking forward to seeing how they wrap up this season. And I do know that there is a movie I think people said I could watch after season 2, but that it ties into an episode later on in season 3. So we'll watch that movie when we get to it. I believe it's Two Heroes, and I believe Heroes Rising is after that, in around somewhere in season 4. So yeah, we're gonna get into this. If you guys want to watch the full reaction or early reactions, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Otherwise, let's get started. What a way to end the season, giving us a glimpse of All For One with his creepy ass face. It looks like All Might might have destroyed his head or something before. I don't know. He has no eyes. One of his ears is destroyed. I can't see the other side of his face. And at that point, how did he not recover the body? If All For One was so wrecked, how did they not take him into custody? It's curious. And given that All For One is able to steal quirks and he's had a Nomu with regeneration before, why didn't he fully heal his own wounds? Just like total regeneration. I mean, I like it better this way though. He looks super freaking creepy. Maybe if he got a regeneration quirk after he already healed himself a little bit through, I don't know, traditional medicine. Maybe that's why he's not able to regenerate something that didn't get injured until he got. Wait, what am I trying to say? Maybe he can't regenerate things that were destroyed before he got the regeneration quirk, is what I'm trying to say. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't have any eyes anymore, so he has to rely on his other senses. Maybe he has a Daredevil or a Toph-like quirk. That would definitely help him out. But we haven't actually seen him in action this whole time, right? He's always been having Shigaraki do things. He's also said that he's preparing Shigaraki to be his successor, just as All Might is preparing Deku to be his successor. So I'm wondering what he saw in Shigaraki that made him choose him, because All Might saw a little bit of himself in Deku, a quirkless boy who could become a true hero. But with Shigaraki, we've talked before about how he's like a petulant child. I guess his quirk can be pretty powerful, but I don't know. What if All For One had chosen Stain instead? I guess he wouldn't be able to bend Stain to his will, and it also seems like he leaves Shigaraki on a relatively loose leash. I guess we haven't really seen too many other villains just yet, but there have to be some villains out there with bigger plans, even if All Might's presence put them into hiding. So I'm questioning why All For One chose Shigaraki, not just to work for him, but to be his successor. That seems really interesting. And can All For One pass down All For One? Or, I mean, he can obviously pass down quirks he's inherited to Shigaraki, but can he actually pass down his own All For One quirk? Because if he can, I guess it doesn't matter what quirk Shigaraki has, just like it doesn't matter to All Might that Deku is quirkless, because he'll be so powerful anyway. He'll be able to accumulate any quirks and be super powerful. But yeah, what makes Shigaraki stand out? Not sure just yet. We're also introduced to two villains this episode who seem like they'll be important parts of the League of Villains. Himiko, Toga, and Dabi. Toga looks like a high school girl. Like, she's very young, but yet she's got many murders on her hands. The guy who brought her to Shigaraki said her name and face were kept out of the media, so I'm guessing she's a minor. I'm guessing. But I'm not sure. I don't know how the laws work with minors in other countries besides the US. And I don't know if we heard what her quirk is, though I am wondering if it has to do with the blood she spilled. And the first time we saw her, she had sprayed blood everywhere. And the second time, she was talking about idolizing Stain, but also wanting to kill Stain. She said Stainy, to be fair. So her obsession with someone who has a blood type quirk makes me think her quirk might be blood related, though I don't even know how much was released to the public. Did the public know Stain's quirk in the end? Was it reported on? All questions that are not likely to be answered, but are interesting to me. Like, how much detail do people on the streets know about everything that happens in the underground? Obviously, people don't even know about All for One because it's not even written about in the history book. So I wonder how much suppression of information happens. Dabi, on the other hand, not his real name. We also don't know his quirk either, but he clearly looks like he lost control of a fire quirk, given his like severe burns. Shigaraki doesn't like how disrespectful he is. And Shigaraki lunges at both of them only for Kurogiri to interfere with everyone's attack. That's really impressive, honestly. He can create so many portals with such precision that nobody hits each other. Like, you have to be very good at that it was impressive. But it seemed like Shigaraki was just like letting off some steam because he knew he'd have to accept as many people as possible who would be willing to work with him, make use of Stain's name to further himself and his own goals. And I guess if you needed any more proof of how committed All for One is to making Shigaraki his successor, he could easily recruit so many people himself if he wanted to, because he's done so before. He used to have waves and waves of people. We saw those ants coming together when I believe it was Gran Torino who was talking about him. But he's letting Shigaraki form his own team and make his own decisions so that those people will be loyal to Shigaraki when the time comes and not loyal to him. So that's very interesting. But yeah, I asked why Shigaraki, but why even pass the torch? Why does he need a successor if he can continue to live due to whatever quirk he has that makes him live longer? Like, why not just keep stockpiling quirks and making yourself stronger if you really are that evil? And I wonder what, if anything, is stopping him from like tracking down Endeavor, Best Jeanist, and the other top heroes and taking their quirks by force and really crumble society all at once. Maybe he's waiting for the perfect opportunity. And yeah, anyway, really Shigaraki-centered episode, because even after that, we got to see Shigaraki a little later. We did get to see our kids in 1A, though. Some of them feeling very dejected after failing the exam, thinking they weren't going to be able to go to the training camp. Sato, Kaminari, and Kirishima were all like blank-faced and empty and feeling just numb. And Mina was fighting so hard to hold back tears. I felt really bad for her because she seemed like the one most excited to go. Also, she's like, s'mores, yay, every campfires, everything. And after working so hard to pass the written exam too, and Deku tried to reassure or give them some hope, and Kaminari poked him in the eyes. That was funny, but also so mean. Luckily, it turns out it was one of those logical deceptions that Aizawa likes to pull. I haven't seen him do that since the quirk assessment test. Is that what it's called? Freaking Aizawa, though. Tenya makes a good point. How can we trust you if you keep lying to us? We have less faith in your words if you keep tricking us. He said that he'll take that into consideration, but I don't know. It seems like he'll do it again at some point. Maybe wait a couple seasons and then he'll do it again. But yeah, they were never going to skip the training camp because they need help the most. Of course, that makes a lot of sense. But they'll also have extra lessons too. Will be fun to see how much work they get put through. Because they do need to get better if they want to keep pace with the others. But yeah, it'll be fun. But yeah, almost the entire class went out to shop together. So I was really happy because I love seeing characters that we have fallen in love with just do normal everyday things. So I was hoping for some normal high school shenanigans, and I guess we didn't get too much, but definitely hoping for some more down the line somewhere, maybe at the training camp. That'll be fun. For those of you who have been subscribed for a while, you know me. I love when characters just get to relax, kick back, and just have fun for once in a while because they deserve it, right? Even though the USJ incident was really interesting with the villains attacking, I would have been also really happy to see that rescue exercise play out. Because we haven't seen them in rescue situations ever, I think. Yeah. So yeah, anyway. I would have really liked to see them in their little groups shopping together, just doing everyday random crap. Would have been fun. Oh well, maybe some other time. But yeah, Uraraka and Deku left all alone together. I was getting excited for them, but that memory of Aoyama sent Uraraka running. She's so cute when she was running and then she's embarrassed. I I wonder if it would have actually been easier for them to get together in a relationship if Aoyama hadn't said anything, because they would have just gotten closer and closer until like one day, blammo, kissing, right? But now Uraraka is super self-conscious about it and will likely overthink everything. So I also hope their friendship doesn't suffer with her trying to deny her feelings, because Deku thought she was calling him a pest. I hope it doesn't suffer. And she's just like, that's not it at all, I don't think. My heart. She's so cute and just... And then later, when she decided to turn back, it's not like I want to spend all day shopping with him or anything weird. Sure, I think he's amazing. I loved it. She's so in love and she can't accept it. But yeah, it looks like after Shigaraki... I mean, Shigaraki was just wandering around because he left Dabi and Himiko. He was just like pissed off at them. And he happened to come across Deku, had some questions for him. And yeah, he doesn't really seem to even have a core belief until Deku answers some of his questions. And he's just like, oh, he has to go to a hero in training to realize what the difference between himself and Stain is. And he just wants to destroy All Might and the world he's created, which I guess is appealing to someone like All For One. Because if I'm All For One and All Might practically destroyed me and undid a lot of work I did, I'm guessing he knows how One For All works. And the biggest revenge I could get on All Might is destroying the world he's helped build. Because so badly... All Might wants so badly to keep the peace and be this beacon of hope, this pillar of hope. And so All For One destroying that would be the biggest blow to All Might. And assuming he knows that One For All can be passed down, I assume he must, since he gave it to his brother and he's been fighting people who have inherited the power over and over again. So All For One... If he becomes aware of Deku as well, that could be pretty bad. Deku could be targeted even harder than he already has been. And yeah, I guess in that sense, the fact that Shigaraki hates All Might as much as All For One does is something that could be a reason why he chose him to be his successor. Yeah, the whole time choking Deku out with just one finger off. Oh man. And he hates Deku on some level, but Shigaraki probably should have killed him in that moment, because Deku, once he furthers his quirk, once he gets better at using his quirk, he's going to be some trouble for him down the line. But it just goes to show how much of an advantage the villains have in almost all situations, because I don't know how much of a chance Deku would have had against Shigaraki in like a one-on-one battle, but all Shigaraki has to do in this situation is threaten the lives of those around him, and Deku has to sit quietly and listen. He can't fight back. He can't do anything. So until he's more powerful, he'll have to protect. He has to protect people, and it's a hard deal dealt to heroes. They have to protect and fight at the same time, whereas the villains don't care what collateral damage they do. So obviously they have the advantage in almost every situation. Uraraka came back, finally. I was hoping they would have a nice date, and it turns out all this stuff happens. And Deku did everything he could to get rid of her, told her to get back, it's nothing. So he was trying so hard to get some breath in his lungs, trying not to get choked, but more than anything, he didn't want her to fall victim to Shigaraki too, so his heroism on a display there again. But poor Deku, he was like this close to having a nice day shopping with Uraraka all day. Instead, he got stabbed in the eyes by Kaminari and choked out by Shigaraki. So not a great day for him overall. I guess the day can be salvaged if Uraraka chokes him out afterwards, but that doesn't seem likely, right? And Deku's mom, after all the questioning, she's so worried about him, and I understand that completely. I feel really bad for her because she was so happy to see that he had a quirk. But then she sees him breaking himself at the sports festival, villains attacking at all times. Shigaraki nearly killed him today, so I mean, she wants her son to achieve his dreams, but it must be so painful to see your child in so much danger when he's not even a freaking hero yet. It's just time after time he's being put in danger. So yeah, I feel bad for her too. But yeah, in that closing scene, we got to see Todoroki talking with his mom some more. I wish we could hear more of those conversations, honestly. It would be really cool, but I'm glad they're mending their relationship. Hopefully she can leave the hospital at some point, though I don't know where she could go. I don't know that... I don't think going back to where Endeavor lives is a good place to be. And now that I think about it, Shoto lives with his father, right? That's... Like, living at home with an abusive parent is the worst. I mean, like, holy crap. I didn't even think about that until just now, somehow. Okay, anyway. Yeah, this season, we did get to see, like, a more happier ending, though, this season. It almost ended on a positive note, with everyone working towards building a better future, working towards being heroes. And then we saw All for One. And we also saw a character we aren't familiar with, a doctor. And I mentioned just last episode that if I was All for One, I'd have a pediatrician or someone who works in a maternity ward leak me information about children with desirable quirks. I didn't think we'd have to touch on that possibility again the very next episode. So he has a doctor, and I don't know what he's there for. Could be the doctor is just there to heal him up, but I mean, Shigaraki said the League didn't have a healer when Stain stabbed him that one time. So the doctor doesn't have a healing quirk at the very least, which, I mean, he could be there to heal All for One just without quirks, just like regular modern medicine. Or maybe he's there to monitor vitals and stuff on the Nomu. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, though, that was a great season. Started with the freaking sports festival. That was so cool. Amazing arc. Stain, super interesting. The final exams were great. So all really great fun this season. And it's interesting because I don't know if they can top this because it's so good. But I'm also like, people are super hyped for every subsequent season. Like right now I have like so many comments asking me how excited I am for season 5, and I'm just like, I'm still on season 2. But apparently this show just keeps the level of quality up because people are still so excited about the show. So I'm excited to continue as well. Season 3, they're going to the training camp. Looking forward to that. I think this episode on its own is not super duper interesting, but the way it wrapped up the season and the context that it gives, the introduction for All for One, made it really good still. So 8.5, definitely looking forward to more. All right, thanks for watching, guys. If you want to watch the full reaction or you want to see season 3 right now, the first episode, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Come hang out on Discord. Yeah, all that good stuff. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, friends.